Hello and welcome to
HTTV!
That's actually really loud.
What a prick. You can't say that on camera.
I can.
Oh, it's on now.
Well, it is now. Too late, mate. Right, so today we are going raking hay and Justin is...
I'm bringing in hay.
So let's get to it. So, rake is all on. We've been raking anyway. A few fields and a few acres. Try her out as she's new. Haven't filmed any of that like I always do. Just make sure everything's set up properly. So that's all done on the tractor. So we are ready to rock and roll. Starting from the headstock, I mean everything is labelled on here, which is brilliant anyway. So from the bore to the ground, basically as you can see, instead of getting tape measure out, the links are level. So the links are level and it's got to be 600 mil from the centre of the bore to the ground for your working adjustment height for your links. So that is simple. I mean, anyone can do that. So that is one of the first things, easy. So on this one, as I said, we had little problems with the hydraulic height adjuster, which is this beauty here. And so what was actually happened to begin with when we got the rake out, we put the rake down, we adjusted the heights, and this rotor here, ever so slightly out on the ground, very minimal. We're talking a few mil. So when we adjust where we wanted the height adjustment, obviously when you're doing your height adjustment, you just want it sweeping the grass. You don't want to be digging in, you don't want to be bringing up stones. Just gently sweeping the grass, so it just picks up the grass. We don't want to touch the ground, you know, the actual, you know, ground itself. We just want to sweep the grass. So this rotor here was out, that rotor there was the correct working height. So we had to make a few changes, take both motors off, set them both up. Not an issue, it wasn't an issue. They're easy to do, it's all just nut and bolts. Simple, just a simple, easy job to do. Just little teething problems. Greasing up is pretty straightforward as well. I mean, every rake I've ever had has got loads of grease nipples, so there's nothing new there. But I do like this one, you don't have to touch the grease nipples for 200 hours. So that's a bit of raking before we actually touch it again. But to be honest with you, we'll do this first block here around the farm. We'll do our 200 to 300 acres that we've got down at the moment. Then I will grease up again. It's nothing. I do like to look after my rakes. They need to be greased up constantly because there's a lot of moving parts on a rake. And to be honest with you, grease is a lot cheaper than steel. So another thing we had, what's wrong with it? Well, not wrong with it, it's how they come. This is just driver preference now. In here is just, in this little cubby hole here. So on here, you know, that's your solenoids and all that for your independent arms going up and down. And you've got your main valve in there as well, and you can adjust your ground pressure. Our ground pressure is fine, that's all been done. We've checked all that, ground pressure is okay. On the chrome, I was used to the chrome, obviously, because we had that for a few years. They're independent, so that rotor there would be your left. This rotor here is your right. So on the Kuhn, this one is your left, that one is your right. So obviously that took a little bit of getting used to, but in here is your solenoid. So what we just did, take this cover off here and swap your electrical connectors off into each one. So now that one is my left, that one is my right. So it's simple. It's, at the end of the day, it's just driver preference. You know, you might think, well, that's just, you know, won't you leave it as it was? But yeah, I could have, and I would get used to it. But you get used to your machines. And on the chrome, that was your left rotor, that was your right rotor. On Kuhn, that's your left rotor, that's your right rotor. It's so simple. This here is how high your rotors come up. So when you're coming out of work, so this is your crop lift adjuster. So simple and it's so effective. So once you come here, she was sat on the minimum notch. So that was your minimum notch there. So we just brought her up a notch. When I was coming out of work, it was just taking the edge of the, the top of the row off and just scattering it about a bit worse, untidying it, and the baler man gets peed off because he's got to keep going back. It's not what we're about, you're just losing time. So this little bit here, which I think is brilliant, you just undo these, slack these off, and you move that to what notch you want it. We just moved it up a notch. Brilliant, done, simple. 5 minutes to do both of them. Easy peasy.
That shadow in your eye, oh God, I've been so blind. I stand there staring, my own life goes by. You had a mask when I was naked, had nothing to hide. And now you say you need some time. Can stop reminiscing, some parts are missing. Trying to erase all the damage in our past, feeling then to lose, betrayed and so abused. And now you take your time now. Can't stop reminiscing, some parts are missing. It's not right, it's not right, it's not right. I keep on remembering what you done.
Personal preference. We go around 3 times on the headland and then do our cuts. The reason for that is you've got a massive area to turn around, to be honest with you. We're raking just below 8 metres really. We've got plenty for the baler, nice lot of grass going into the baler. Like I said, the McHale baler does love a lot of grass being fed into it. It doesn't like the little narrow roads. You've got to weave from side to side to get it even on the belts. Right, so your control box, very simple, very easy to use. I thought, look, to be honest, when we first had the rake, I thought it was going to be it looked quite complicated, to be honest with you. But again, it's what you get used to in it. Like the chrome I was used to the chrome one, so you get something new, you've got to work with that again, haven't you? Very easy, works off 2 spool valves. You've got a flick switch for your independence, and you've got a little toggle switch here, which is number 1 and number 2. So number 1 is your rotors up and down on one spool, and on your other spool is your width adjustment. So if you click it to 2, number 2 is just for your height adjustment on the same spool as what your width adjustment is. But it is really easy. You've got your push button for your coming out of transport mode for unlocking the hinges, and it is very simple to use. And I do really like it, I must admit. And what I do like about it as well is, again, something so simple. I know, but the control box stays in the tractor. The chrome wouldn't. The chrome was all wired to the rake, so you had to keep taking the control box in and out, which I'm not being funny, does drive me insane. Because when you're out raking all day, you've got to come back to the turner on or a trailer or whatever, you've got to take the control box out. This is just a snap connector, easy, and that just lives in the tractor with me. So we've been around 3 times now, just doing our cut. So what I like to do is, this is a funny, odd shaped field. I try and square my I do try and square my fields up. So because it's funny angles on both hedges, we'll just make a straight line in the middle, and then we just follow that. It's quite simple. baler man won't be annoyed with me because I haven't got funny wiggly lines everywhere, which he loves. I might even put a zigzag in at some point just to really pee him off. He'll love that. He'll really like that. But no, it's quite easy enough. I do always try and square up my fields if I can, because we do have some odd shaped fields down here, really odd. The trouble is our fields down here as well aren't that big. We just have loads of them. It's not like, you know, you boys up the line where you've got your 40 and 50 and 60 acre fields. I'd love that. I'd love to just go up and down raking, so we just make use of what you got. So Justin's bringing in hay along with Charlie. I'm raking. When I finish raking, I'm going to go turning. Some haylage ground we've got for haylage, so we're going to do that. Busy times. So that is us done. As you can see up the rows, quite nice rows, nice wide rows. As you can see, I must admit with the Kuhn, she's very tight on the rows. We've got quite, the rows, as you can see, they're fluffy, nice fluffy rows. They're quite high, you know, it's up to my knee, but there again, I am the wrong person to really do anything about height because I'm a little short ass anyway, so don't even listen to that bit, waste of time. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Again, just insight how we set machines up, how we do things, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Remember to find us on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and now on Facebook. Quite pleased, really pleased how it's all turned out, and this rake, I must admit, is a hell of a bit of kit. Right, so I shall see you on the next one. Cheers.